Have you ever wondered what really affects our health as we grow older? After 7 of nearly % of deaths come down to just 5 key factors. Things we can actually do something about. Many of us think passing away at an advanced age is just part of life. But the truth is, most of these risks can be avoided if we act early. The challenge is, by the time we notice our health slipping, it's often harder to turn things around. But here's the good news. If you understand these dangers now, you can take simple steps to protect yourself. Stay strong and live a longer, fuller life. In this video, we're going to share the 5 leading causes of death. After 7 of some you might expect, others might catch you by surprise. These aren't just numbers. They're about real lives, real families, and the choices that can make all the difference. Stick with us until the end, because these risks aren't set in stone. With small, meaningful changes, you can lower your chances of health struggles. Stay independent and even add years, maybe decades, to your life. Let's dive in and discover how the decisions you make today can keep you vibrant and strong for years to come. Now let's start with the first major factor: stroke. It's a word that carries a lot of weight, because when a stroke happens, it can change everything in an instant. One moment life feels normal, and the next you're facing challenges you never saw coming. After-severe strokes are one of the top causes of death. But here's the hopeful truth: up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. That means the steps you take today can make a huge difference in keeping you independent and strong. The key is knowing what to watch for and acting before it's too late. A stroke happens when blood flow to your brain gets blocked or a blood vessel bursts. When that occurs, brain cells start to die within minutes, and the damage can be permanent. Some strokes are mild, causing temporary confusion or a little weakness, but others can leave you unable to move, speak, or live the way you used to. In too many cases, a stroke can be fatal. The scariest part: it often strikes without warning. But there are signs and risks you can control if you know what to look for. High blood pressure is one of the biggest culprits. It's like a constant strain on your arteries, weakening them over time and making them more likely to clog or burst. The tricky thing is, it's silent. No pain, no obvious clues. You could be at risk without even realizing it until a stroke hits out of the blue. That's why so many people over 75 end up in the hospital wondering how this happened when they felt fine just days before. Another risk is an irregular heartbeat, like atrial fibrillation. It's more common than you might think. And when your heart beats out of rhythm, blood can pool and form clots. If one of those clots travels to your brain, it can trigger a stroke in a heartbeat. The good news: a quick checkup with your doctor can catch this early, and treatments can lower your risk dramatically. Your daily habits play a big role too. Eating too many processed foods, salty snacks, or unhealthy fats can make your blood vessels less flexible, while sitting too much slows your circulation. On the flip side, simple changes like adding more leafy greens, cutting back on salt, and staying active can keep your blood flowing smoothly. Even small steps like drinking more water or taking a short walk can work wonders for your brain and body. One thing you can't ignore is a mini stroke, or TIA. It might feel like a brief moment of confusion, blurry vision, or weakness that passes quickly, but it's a serious warning sign. Don't brush it off as nothing. Getting to a doctor right away could stop a full-blown stroke in its tracks. Those fleeting symptoms are your body's way of saying, "Pay attention. Let's fix this now." The most important thing to know is that you have power here. Checking your blood pressure regularly, eating foods that nourish your heart, staying active, and listening to your body's signals can keep a stroke at bay. It's about taking care of yourself so you can keep doing the things you love, whether it's spending time with family, tending your garden, or just enjoying a quiet morning. The earlier you start, the better your chances of staying strong and independent. If this is hitting home for you, drop number 4 in the comments to let me know you're with me. And if you're finding these tips helpful, please subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss what's next. Your support keeps us sharing ways to help you live your best life. Now let's talk about something that might not sound like a big deal, but can change everything in us. Split-second falls and injuries. After 70, a simple stumble isn't just a stumble. It's one of the top reasons people end up seriously hurt, or worse. It's not a disease, but it's just as dangerous. And the scary part is most of us don't see it coming. One moment you're reaching for something or stepping over a rug, and the next, everything's different. A broken hip, a bump to the head, or even a small bruise can spiral into something much more serious. Stealing away your independence in ways you never imagined. Here's a sobering truth: falls are one of the leading causes of injury-related deaths for seniors. Every year, millions of people end up in the emergency room because of a fall. And for too many, it's the downward slide they never fully bounce back from. A fractured hip might mean months in bed, a higher chance of infections, or losing the ability to live on your own. But despite how common this is, so many of us don't think about preventing falls until we've already had a close call or seen someone we love go through it. As we get older, our balance muscle strength and reflexes aren't what they used to be. It happens so gradually that you might not even notice. You feel fine walking around the house doing your usual routine, until one day a dizzy spell or a slippery floor catches you off guard. Your body just doesn't bounce back like it did when you were younger, and what might have been a minor trip in your 40s can now turn into a life-changing injury. And here's something that makes it even tougher. After one scare, a lot of folks start moving less out of fear. They skip walks, avoid stairs, or stick to sitting more, but that only makes muscles weaker and balance shakier, setting the stage for another fall. It's a cycle that can quietly rob you of the freedom to live life on your terms. But here's the hopeful part. Falls don't have to be part of your story. There are simple, powerful ways to keep yourself steady and safe. Strengthening your legs and core with gentle exercises can make a world of difference. Even small changes at home, like brighter lights, non-slip rugs, or sturdy handrails, can turn a risky space into a safe one. And don't overlook your medications. Some pills can cause dizziness or drowsiness, making a fall more likely. If you've ever felt lightheaded standing up, that's a sign to chat with your doctor about what you're taking. They can help adjust things to keep you steady. Falls aren't just about tripping over a cord. They're about staying strong, staying aware, and making your surroundings work for you. After 71, misstep can shift the course of your life, but the right precautions can keep you moving confidently, living independently, and enjoying the days ahead. If this is hitting home for you, drop number 2 in the comments to let me know you're with me. And if you're finding this helpful, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you don't miss what's next. Your support means the world, and it helps us keep sharing tips to keep you strong and thriving. Now let's turn to our third focus: respiratory diseases. Breathing is something we take for granted until it starts feeling like a chore. As we get older, our lungs don't work as effortlessly as they once did, and what seems like a minor cough or a bit of breathlessness can snowball into something much more serious. Respiratory problems are one of the leading causes of death, not because they're unavoidable, but because too many of us overlook them until they've taken hold. The bright side: with some simple changes, you can keep your lungs healthy and your breathing strong for years to come. One of the biggest threats is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, which covers conditions like emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Over time, your airways can get irritated and inflamed, making it harder to breathe deeply. You might notice a persistent cough, some wheezing, or feel winded after a short walk. It's tempting to shrug these off as just part of aging, but they're really your lungs asking for a little extra care. Then there's pneumonia, which might sound like a simple infection, but for older adults, it's a serious risk. What starts as a tickle in your chest can quickly become a dangerous condition, especially since our immune systems aren't as robust as they used to be. Far too often, pneumonia sends people to the hospital, And for some, it marks the start of a decline they can't fully recover from. The air you breathe matters more than you might think. Over the years, exposure to dust pollution, or even secondhand smoke, can wear your lungs down. Even at home, things like mold, pet dander, or other irritants can quietly make breathing harder, especially if you're dealing with asthma or COPD. Making small tweaks like adding an air purifier or keeping your space smoke-free can do wonders for your lungs. And here's something important. Your lungs need to stay active, just like your muscles. When you move, whether it's a gentle stroll, some stretching, or even practicing deep breathing, lungs get a chance to expand and clear out mucus, staying stronger and healthier. But if you're sitting still for long periods, your lungs miss out on that exercise, making them more vulnerable to infections and weaker over time. One of the simplest ways to protect your lungs is to keep up with vaccinations. Getting shots for pneumonia and the flu might seem like a small thing, but they're a powerful shield. They're not just about avoiding a bad cold. They're about preventing complications that could sideline you or even become life-threatening. It's an easy step that can save you from a world of trouble. Breathing should always feel natural, but for too many people over 75, it becomes a struggle. Not because it has to, but because they didn't act early enough. Your lungs are there for you every second, quietly keeping you alive, giving them some love by staying active. Cleaning up the air around you and getting those vaccines is one best gifts you can give yourself. It's not just about dodging sickness. It's about staying free, feeling vibrant, and making every breath a little easier. If this is speaking to you, let me know by dropping number 3 in the comments. And if you're finding these insights helpful, please hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss what's next. Your support helps us keep sharing ways to help you thrive and stay strong. Now, let's talk about our 4th topic, heart disease. It's the #1 cause of death for folks over 70, but here's something that might surprise you. You have more control over it than you might think. Your heart is like a faithful old friend, working hard every single day, but it needs care to keep going strong. Without the right attention, it can weaken over time. And the tricky part, you might not even notice until it's serious. Feeling a bit more tired, getting winded, climbing the stairs, or just not having the energy you used to. Those aren't always just signs of getting older. Sometimes they're your heart whispering that it needs a little help. One of the biggest culprits is high blood pressure. It's like an invisible strain, quietly putting extra pressure on your arteries and forcing your heart to work overtime. The scary thing is, it doesn't shout for attention. There's no pain, no clear signal, just silent damage. That can build up over years until a heart attack or stroke catches you off guard. That's why so many people end up in the hospital wondering how they went from feeling okay to facing a health scare. Then there's what we eat. Years of processed foods, too much salt, or unhealthy fats can slowly clog your arteries, making it harder for the blood to flow. But it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff. Your heart craves the good stuff too. Nutrient-rich foods like leafy greens, berries, or fish can give your heart the fuel it needs to stay strong. And let's talk about moving. Your heart isn't built to sit still all day. When you stay active, whether it's a gentle walk, some stretching, or even chair exercises, your heart gets the workout it needs to keep pumping smoothly. You don't need to be running races, just keep moving in a way that feels good for you. Here's the thing, a lot of us hear about heart disease and think, well, it runs in my family, or that's just what happens when you get older. But that's not the whole story. The truth is, the little choices you make every day, like what you put on your plate, how you spend your time, or how you handle stress, add up. They can either strengthen your heart or wear it down. If there's one thing to hold on to, it's this: you have the power to keep your heart healthy. Starting today, even small steps can make a big difference in how strong and vibrant you feel for years to come. Let's move to our 5th and final topic, cognitive decline and the complications that can come with it. This one hits close to the heart because it's about more than just forgetting a name or misplacing your keys. It's about holding on to the clarity and independence that make you you. As we age, the slow fade of memory or reasoning can feel like one of the hardest parts of growing older. Aftershave conditions like dementia or Alzheimer's don't just affect your mind, and they can put your whole well-being at risk. But here's the uplifting truth. You can take steps today to keep your mind sharp and your life full for years to come. Cognitive decline doesn't happen all at once. It creeps in quietly. Maybe you struggle to follow a conversation or forget where you parked the car. At first, it's easy to wave these off as senior moments. But over time, those small lapses can grow into bigger challenges. Simple tasks like taking your medications, cooking a balanced meal, or noticing when you're not feeling well come harder. Some folks forget to drink enough water, leading to dehydration, or they might eat too little or too much, which can cause other health problems. And then there's the bigger worry: accidents, forgetting to turn off the stove, leaving the door unlocked, or wandering somewhere unsafe. These are real risks that can turn deadly as cognitive decline progresses. For too many, it means losing the ability to live on their own, and without the right care, their health can slip even faster. The hardest part: many people don't realize their mind is changing until it's already advanced. Those early signs, mixing up names, losing track of a story, or misplacing things, are your brain's way of whispering that it needs some extra care. Catching these signals early gives you a better shot at slowing things down and keeping your mind strong. One of the best ways to do that is to keep your brain active, like you would a muscle. Reading a good book, tackling a puzzle, learning a new hobby, or even chatting about life with a friend. These things aren't just fun. They're like a workout for your mind. They keep your brain engaged and help protect against decline. Here's something else to know. Staying physically active is just as important for your brain as it is for your body. Moving, whether it's a walk in the park, some gentle yoga, or dancing to your favorite song, sends more blood to your brain, nourishing your memory and thinking skills. And don't underestimate the power of connection. Spending time with friends, family, or your community can make a huge difference. Loneliness and isolation can speed up cognitive decline, but regular conversations and shared moments keep your mind sharper and your heart fuller. What you eat matters too. Foods rich in omega-3s, antioxidants, and vitamins, like leafy greens, berries, and nuts, are like fuel for your brain, helping shield it from decline. On the flip side, too much processed food, sugar, or unhealthy fats can cause inflammation that makes things harder for your brain over time. A healthy mind starts with a healthy body, and the choices you make at the table can shape how clear and focused you stay. Losing your mental sharpness isn't something you have to accept as part of aging. By keeping your mind and body active, staying connected with the people you love, and eating foods that nourish you, you can lower your risk and hold on to your independence. Your brain is a precious part of who you are. Taking care of it is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. If this resonates with you, let me know by dropping number 5 in the comments. And if you're finding these insights helpful, please subscribe and tap that bell so you don't miss our next video. Your support helps us keep sharing ways to help you live with strength and joy. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered today: heart disease, falls, respiratory issues, strokes, and cognitive decline. These 5 factors account for nearly all deaths after 70, but here's the powerful truth: they don't have to define your future. So many of us think these challenges are just part of getting older, but the reality is you have more control than you might realize. By the time most people notice their health slipping, it's harder to turn things around, but you're here now, and that means you're already taking a step toward a stronger, healthier life. The choices you make today, the food you eat, the way you move, the time you spend with loved ones can add years of clarity, strength, and joy to your life. No one likes to dwell on aging, but ignoring these risks doesn't make them disappear. Instead, let's focus on what you can do. Small, steady steps, like eating a little healthier, staying active in ways that feel good, getting those checkups, or keeping your mind and heart engaged. You don't need to overhaul everything. Just one small change can set you on a path to feeling better and living longer. Think about your daily habits for a moment. Is there one thing you could tweak, even just a little? Maybe it's taking a short walk each day, adding some colorful veggies to your plate, or calling a friend to catch up. Your well-being is your greatest treasure, and every choice you make to protect it lets you enjoy more moments with the people and things you love. You deserve to live with confidence, independence, and peace of mind, free from the fear of preventable health struggles. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share one thing you've learned or a step you're planning to take. Your thoughts mean so much to us, and they inspire us to keep going. If this video spoke to you, please give it a like. Hit that subscribe button and share it with someone you care about. Your support helps us keep bringing you content to help you thrive. Here's to living strong, staying vibrant, and making every day count. We'll see you in the next video.